Hi, I'm Chef Jake Yates with Jake's Awesome Food, and you are watching Jake's Awesome Cooking Show. I've been cooking for many years, and I've been many different places, cooking in places like Australia to Montana to Boston, where I currently work as a private chef, cooking for high-profile clients. Today, we're gonna be cooking 3 different dishes I know you're gonna love. We're gonna start with a Thai-inspired papaya salad. Then we're gonna move on to an enchilada, which is going to be a green chicken enchilada, which was one thing that my mom could actually cook right. Finally, we're gonna finish with a delicious Mexican brownie. It's gonna be fudgy, it's gonna use Mexican chocolate, Mexican vanilla. It's gonna be amazing, you're gonna love it. This isn't pretentious cooking here at Jake's Awesome Cooking Show. We're gonna be doing this together. So join me on this journey as we cook this awesome food together. Thank you. First, we're gonna take our papaya and we're gonna remove these seeds. You see how they're just in the way? Just get a spoon, very easy. We're gonna take our spoon and we're gonna remove the seeds. I like to do this in a bowl because if you don't do this in a bowl, you're gonna have seeds. See, like that one and this one? You're gonna have them all over the place, big mess. It's not that hard. You just remove the seeds. Very simple, just like that. I promise guys, it's easy, it's delicious. This is gonna be crunchy, sour. It's gonna be so much flavor in here. So you see my seeds have been removed here and we've gotten all the seeds out nice and clean. There's a little bit right there, but we'll get that. Perfect. Next, we're gonna take a peeler, clean off my board real quick right here. We're gonna take our peeler and we wanna peel the outside of this papaya. We don't wanna start grating it yet. So just take your peeler and we're just gonna peel the outside of it, just like that. This is the old school potato peeler that they had back when my grandma was peeling potatoes. Got to be careful, watch your hands. Definitely don't want to peel your hands off. In fact, I kind of like to just do this with my knife instead. I'm just going to cut it off, just like that. And I'm going to cut this end off, just like that. You can also peel with a knife if you have enough skill. Otherwise, I highly do not, don't ever use peelers like this. They're just not the best. And you can nick your finger. It's kind of dangerous. All right, so we're going to take all of this stuff. We've got our papaya. It's been peeled. We're going to continue cleaning out the edges of this because this guy didn't get all of it, but my knife did, so it's no worries. We're gonna take our grater, box grater. I like to use this end of a box grater. If you're gonna go to a Thai restaurant, they're probably gonna use a mandolin. Most of you guys are looking at me like I have no idea what a mandolin is. That's okay. I told you we're gonna do this together. We're doing this together. It's gonna be easy. We're gonna use this box grater, okay? Grate your papaya. It's coming out beautifully. Keep going, we're almost there. We're gonna push through, get all that in there. And see, this papaya, you can see how when we use the box grater, it creates this awesome grate and it's crunchy. It's delicious. It's already really good. Keep grating, and don't worry guys, you're gonna grate all this just like you grate cheese, or maybe if you make hash browns at home, you grate a potato. We're gonna push through, get all that stuff out. Gonna grate through, and hopefully we can edit almost most of this grating because this is taking longer than I expected. But we got it grated, we got it most grated. This one's a little ripe, which is actually what a green papaya is. It's a ripe, or it's an unripe, excuse me, papaya. So we're grating it, and I got all of it grated here. So we're gonna take about a cup of this. We're gonna put it into our bowl, very simple. Now, papaya salad is a pretty complex dish, but like I said in the beginning, we're gonna do it really simple. Take your knife, we're gonna clean off all that delicious grated papaya that we have. We're gonna get it all in there. And then we're gonna take, this is about half a cup of lime juice. I'm only gonna use about a 1/4 cup of lime juice. I'm not gonna measure it exactly. I'm just gonna eyeball it, just put a little bit in there. For some sourness, we're gonna do a little bit of brown sugar. Now, traditionally, you wanna use palm sugar. However, I understand that palm sugar is very foreign to a lot of people, and it can also be kind of difficult to find. So instead of killing yourself, going to like an Asian supermarket or trying to find the exact perfect kind of sugar for this dish, you can also just use a little bit of brown sugar. It's It's not gonna kill you. It tastes a little bit different, but to your guests, it's still gonna be delicious and amazing. So don't stress too much about getting the palm sugar if you can't find it. Next, we're gonna add a little bit of cilantro. I have some pre-cut cilantro that has been washed and cut. We're gonna add a little bit of that in there in the bowl. And then we're gonna add some fresh mint. I love fresh mint. It adds a really awesome dimension to this papaya salad. Really fresh, vibrant, and I just love mint. My grandmother actually used to grow mint in her backyard. Smelling it actually kind of reminds me of her. And then we have these delicious, juicy tomatoes. I never really liked tomatoes growing up, but in this papaya salad, tomato really shines. So we're gonna take a little bit of these juicy tomatoes and I'm just gonna cut them in half. Just like that. We're just gonna cut a few of them in half. You don't have to go crazy with it. If you love tomatoes, you can definitely add more. I'm still not a super big fan of them, but I've grown to enjoy them more since I was a kid. And then we're gonna finish with a little bit of garlic. I wanna show you guys something really quickly here. So whenever you get some peeled garlic or you peel it yourself, what I like to do is I like to make a paste with it. This is a really cool skill that you can learn to do at home. It's really easy. First, we wanna take off this part of the garlic. It's really simple. We take off that because that's not very good. We definitely don't want that in our food. And I wasn't gonna put that on the floor, I promise. There's a trash can right here. You can't see it, but there's a trash can here. I wasn't gonna put it on the floor, I promise. I respect the studio that I'm in. We're gonna cut this garlic. Now, I'm gonna thinly chop it, and I know not all of you can chop it this way. It's totally fine, but you just wanna chop it. If this is the skill you're at where you're just kind of rough chopping it like this, or maybe you don't hold the knife right, maybe you hold it out here, totally fine. Chop it up into small pieces. Okay, let's just quick side thing, just real quick, knife 101. Whenever you grab a knife, I always like to start by grabbing the knife right here. I grab the knife right at the very blade, at the base of the blade, right here, and I fold my hand into it. So you can see my thumb is touching the base of the knife, and then my pointer finger is also touching the opposite base of the knife. With this, I have a lot more control. So I'm gonna cut this garlic up, just cutting it up. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to it. What this is gonna do is they're granules. So it's going to cause it to be rough. And then I'm just gonna take my knife flat and I'm gonna press it just like that. I'm gonna do it slow motion so you can see. I'm pressing my knife, I'm pressing the back of it to the wooden board. And what that's doing is essentially it's creating a paste. So we don't have to buy the jarred garlic paste anymore at the store. You can make it at home just like this by taking your knife, adding a little bit of salt to make it granulated. See, hear that noise? Hear it's like kind of a gritty noise? That's what you're looking for. And look at this garlic. Look how it's beautifully just, wow, look at that paste. You can't buy that at the store. Okay, maybe you can buy the little jar that like you squeeze into your food, but guys, it's not gonna taste the same. Look at that. And the more you do it, it becomes more of a paste. See, slow motion, hear that? So we're gonna take a little bit of that amazing garlic paste. We're gonna put that right in that papaya salad. Bam. Look, if you guys like food spicy, you can take some Thai chilies, put some Thai chilies in there. I'm with an audience today who doesn't like spicy food as much, so we're not gonna add any Thai chilies today, but hey, that's totally cool. If it's not your thing, you could totally add Thai chilies to this. You could also add Thai basil. Thai basil is a very floral ingredient that is generally in a papaya salad, but sometimes these ingredients are just difficult to find, and that's completely understandable. We want to make this accessible to everyone. I want everyone to be able to make this dish and to share it with your families, with your friends, and with your community. I don't want this to look or feel like it's too intimidating for you to do, because in reality, I think everyone should be able to do fun dishes like this. Okay, so I'm mixing my tomatoes, I'm mixing my grated papaya, I'm mixing that amazing garlic mix that I made. And we're just gonna finish this with a little bit of fish sauce. Just pour a little bit of fish sauce in there. This is a great brand, guys. Red Boat, they're not my sponsor, but they're a great brand. I love Red Boat. I also like the Three Fish brand. That's another one that's really good. And we are going to finish with a little bit of crunchy peanut. Same thing we did with our garlic. Just gonna clean that off there. Thing we did with our garlic, same thing we did with our garlic. I'm going to cut these peanuts, not as fine, but just like a rough chop. And you can roast these before you add them. Very simple, very easy, very fun, right? Okay, on top, nice and crunchy, just like that. Now I'm gonna plate it, very easy. Let me just wash my hands for just a second, still with you guys. We're gonna take a nice little bowl like this. Like I said, guys, this is not pretentious cooking. This is something you can do for your friends, something you can do for your family, maybe for your mom or your grandma. Shout out to my mom who can't cook. I love her, but she burns things, and you know, maybe I wanna make her a papaya salad. Maybe she'll eat this sometime, I don't know. I think she would love it, actually. I think she would. Maybe she wouldn't try it. Maybe if I coerce her, she would eat it. We finish off a little bit of that crunchy chopped peanut. You guys, this is a simple Thai papaya salad. We have the mint, we have the herbs, we have the tomato, we have the crunchy peanut. If you want it spicy, totally can add the Thai chilies, but this is the essence of what a papaya salad is. Let's just give it a quick taste here. I used to grow up watching Food Network or food shows, and I would see them eat the food. It's kind of surreal being on the other side. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting the fresh mint. I'm getting the crunchy papaya. You guys, you can't do it with an orange. Don't do this, orange papaya. It won't work. You want this, okay? So that's our papaya salad. And when we get back, I'm gonna show you how to make the most delicious enchiladas. I'm gonna show you how to do it the right way, because I see it done the wrong way all the time. We're gonna do it the right way, but it's not gonna be pretentious. It's gonna be fun, I promise, and we're gonna do it together. All right, when we come back. All right, see ya. Hey guys, welcome back to Jake's Awesome Cooking Show. On the first segment, we did a little bit of the green papaya salad. Now we're gonna be moving on to enchiladas. The first thing I see people do wrong with enchiladas is that they don't use corn tortillas. These are the tortillas you wanna use when you're making enchiladas. You wanna use corn tortillas, not flour. The reason why you don't want to use flour tortillas is because they don't roll the right way. They also fry differently than corn tortillas do. But most importantly, they have a different flavor. The corn tortilla has a very delicious flavor that you just simply can't get with flour. So, how are we gonna do these? We're gonna start by frying our tortillas. We're gonna do this gently, guys. We're not deep frying it. And if you can see, the oil is gently coating that tortilla on both sides. I'm using my hand because I'm Mexican. This is just how we do it, guys. I'm doing both sides just like that. And then I'm gonna make sure I get all that excess oil off, and we're gonna move that to the side. I have a stack of tortillas here that I already pre-fried for you, but I'm gonna show you one more time. You're gonna take your tortilla, you're gonna just dip it just gently into that oil. And you see it's just bubbling gently. We're not deep frying it. We're just cooking it slightly in the oil. Why am I doing that? First, it's gonna soften the tortilla so that you don't end up with the driest tortillas or the driest enchiladas ever. Secondly, it actually does add a little bit of flavor. Now look, enchiladas are not the healthiest dish in the world. This is probably most likely why, because it's also stuffed and they also put a lot of cheese on it. So I don't recommend eating these every day, but this is how you do it right. So that's the first thing you do to do it right. The second thing I see people not doing when they make enchiladas correctly is that they don't make their own sauce. They just do it out of a jar. You can do it out of a jar if you'd like to, but if you want your enchiladas to be excellent, I suggest you make your own sauce. How do we do that? Well, here I have some tomatillos that I roasted and some chilies that were been roasted and cut up into pieces. Now what we're going to do is we're gonna blend this. Now, one thing that I did that I want you all to see and note is that I actually burned these. These are tomatillos and I burned them. When you burn tomatillos and you burn peppers, you add another dimension of flavor to it. So we're gonna add into our blender, we're just gonna pour it in there. I got my tomatillos burned. We have a little bit of those chilies in there. We have some peppers. Throw some garlic in there. Earlier in the segment of the show, I told you guys to remove the end of the garlic. Go ahead and do that again. We're gonna throw that straight into the blender. We're gonna turn the blender on. You wanna blend it really fine. We don't want chunks of sauce into our enchiladas. So, make sure you blend it really well. And then we're gonna finish that off. Now we're gonna roll these. I'm gonna show you guys how to roll these correctly. So we're gonna take our tortilla that has been fried gently. We're gonna stuff it with just a little bit of this chicken. This is chicken that I seared on the stovetop, and I just gently seared it. And then I shredded it, but I didn't cook it all the way. Another thing, well, okay, I didn't cook it all the way, and the reason why I didn't cook it all the way, guys, is because I'm gonna cook these again in the oven. And if I cook them twice and I cook it all the way first and then cook it again, it's gonna be very dry. Great, so I got my sauce that's been blended. Now we're just gonna pour it into this so my life is easy. Don't wanna make our lives more difficult than that has to be. Take this, just put this in the sink over here, real easy. All right, great. How do you assemble an enchilada? Let's do it, guys. Let me open this. Hopefully we can cut this out. So first we're gonna open up our cheese. Bam. Now we're gonna assemble. So I have my tortilla here. I have my chicken that's been par-cooked. I have my sauce that I made, and I have my cheese. We're gonna start with a little bit of this amazing sauce. We're just gonna swim it right in there, just like that. Then we're gonna take a little bit of cheese. We're gonna sprinkle that right in there. And we're gonna roll them. Let me show you how to roll an enchilada. First, you take it like you're pinching someone, like my mother used to pinch me all the time when I could get in trouble, and you roll it. I'm using my fingers to roll the enchilada. I'm using my fingers to roll the enchilada, just like that. Very gently, doesn't take a lot of force. And there you have a rolled enchilada. I'm gonna show you how to do it again. Second time, a little bit of sauce. We put it in the tortilla. A little bit of this cooked chicken. We stuff it in. A little bit of cheese, or a lot. If you want a lot, it's cool. We've already fried it at this point, and it's not really a healthy dish anyways. So go ahead, if you want to put a lot of cheese, put a lot of cheese. And guys, you can do this with any filling. You could do it with beef, you could do it with pork, you could do it with duck. I've seen it done with many different ways, many different sauces, many different arrangements and ways to do these, okay? But the main thing that I want you to remember is the mark of an excellent enchilada really starts with the tortilla that you use. Using the wrong tortilla in a taco or in an enchilada is really going to make a huge difference. The sauce could be excellent, the filling could be excellent, but if the tortilla isn't right, it's gonna be pretty gross. Now look how this one sort of tears a little bit. That happens sometimes. Don't worry. If your enchiladas are tearing a little bit, it happens. Just continue to roll them gently. Get your chicken, your sauce, your cheese, and you're just gonna roll it up. So I'm gonna finish rolling these up, and then we're gonna throw them in the oven. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and then just throw it in the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes. It doesn't have to be rocket science. You just wait for the cheese to melt, and basically it's gonna be good to go. If you're using chicken, you wanna make sure that you cook your chicken to about exactly 165 degrees or above. And I use chicken thigh. Never ever use chicken breast. Chicken breast is the worst. It should be illegal. It's dry. It's horrible. Unless you're making chicken parm or you're making butter chicken, I would never ever use a chicken breast. It's just too dry, guys. You're gonna be cooking this, you're gonna be baking it for a long time, and it's just gonna dry out. So I'm gonna finish this last enchilada here. I'm gonna roll it up with a little bit of cheese, finish it off with my sauce. And we have a lot of sauce left over. That's okay, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna use that sauce to just top it over. We're pouring our beautiful enchilada sauce all over the top, and even on some of my cutting board. It's okay if you make a little bit of a mess. It's not a big deal, guys. We're just making enchiladas. I told you we're gonna do this together, and it's gonna be something that's not pretentious or crazy, but it's something that you can do for your family, for your community, and for your friends. So we got this sauce. I'm using my hands. My hands are getting dirty at this point. It's totally cool. Just spreading that sauce all around there, and then we're finishing with our cheese. So I'm gonna top it with a little bit of cheese. And I would use a little bit of cilantro here, but the problem is, guys, is we're gonna be cooking in the oven, and it's not the best idea to use herbs when we're going to be baking for extended periods of time, especially because we don't want these herbs to burn. So this is good. We got our sauce, we got our cheese. It's covering all of the enchiladas. I might even finish with a little bit of lime juice. That could also go in the blend, but I like to top it with just a little bit of it. It adds another dimension of flavor. And we're just gonna put this in the oven here. And when we get back, I'm gonna show you how to make the most delicious Mexican chocolate brownies you've ever tasted. So come back on Jake's Awesome Cooking Show, and we're gonna show you how we do this next. We'll see you when you get back. Excellent. Guys, we're back. We just finished making our enchiladas. They're cooking in the oven, and you're back at Jake's Awesome Cooking Show. Right now, we're gonna go move on to a delicious chocolate Mexican brownie. We're gonna start by taking our bowl. Like I said, guys, this isn't pretentious cooking. It's something you can do for your friends or family or your community. we're gonna start with some Mexican chocolate. If you can't find Mexican chocolate, it's totally cool. We're gonna add cinnamon and cayenne to it to give it an extra flair. You could also use Mexican vanilla as well. Throw that in the bowl. This is gonna be 8 ounces of unsweetened chocolate. Then we're gonna add 4 ounces of sweetened chocolate. We're gonna move that to the side. We're gonna throw in 2 sticks of butter because we are on a diet on the show and we wanna lose weight. So go ahead and use your unsweetened chocolate in there. We're gonna put our butter in there. We're going to just do 2 sticks, real easy. Put them in there. Hopefully we can, yeah, 2 sticks. So we put our butter. This is unsalted butter. It doesn't really matter. You can use sweetened butter if you want to. It's not a big deal. We're gonna put this into our bowl. Now, generally, if you are in a professional kitchen or if you're cooking for the president or something like that, if you're cooking for like a high profile client or if you're in a fine dining restaurant, then you can just use a double broiler, which a lot of you just made a face just then. What's a double broiler? Exactly. We're just gonna use the microwave, guys. It's not rocket science. Take your butter, take your chocolate, put it in the microwave. 4, put it in your awesome microwave that always works. You're gonna put it in your microwave for 4 minutes. Okay, we got it in the microwave, easy. And while it's in the microwave, it's really easy, guys. It's really simple. We're gonna take a baking pan right here. So this is one that we're gonna cook our brownies in. It's been lightly oiled, and I put some parchment paper over it, which may be a little bit overkill, but it's gonna make your life easy. When you take it out, you take your brownies out, you can just pull it out like that. One thing I'm gonna add to this is just a dusting of flour. Now, why am I doing that? This is, if you use aluminum, this is basically used to stop it from sticking. So if you have aluminum or if you don't have parchment paper and you're using aluminum instead, this is where it's gonna shine. You're gonna take a little bit of your flour and you're just gonna pat it all the way around the sides and the edges of this parchment paper. And what that's gonna do is it's actually gonna stop you from getting parchment paper bits all over your brownies. Or in the case of aluminum foil bits in your brownies. This is used a lot in professional bakeries as well as professional kitchens to ensure that the final product, in this case the Mexican brownie, is easy for you to take out. So you don't want any excess flour in it, so we're just gonna get all that out. And now we have our beautiful pan that's been perfectly covered with our flour, so it's not gonna stick. I'm gonna pull that to the side and we're gonna check our microwave again. Should be melted properly. All right, so here we have our chocolate and our butter mixture. I'm gonna be using a wooden spoon. You could use a metal spoon if you want. And I'm just gonna mix the chocolate and that butter. We're gonna mix it in. And while you're mixing it, you're gonna see that it's gonna start to change a little bit. The chocolate is going to mix in with the butter and it's gonna become more smooth. It's gonna become creamier. So keep mixing that. And also, guys, what I was talking about earlier was I was talking about a double broiler, which basically is the way that professionals use and melt things such as maybe chocolate, or maybe they're gonna do a sauce. Basically, all you're doing is you're just boiling it over water. You're boiling your sauce, or in this case, the chocolate over water. So you take a pan, you do some water, boil it, then you would put a bowl over it. Make sure you use a metal bowl, not a glass bowl, over the water, and you're gonna melt it over that. It's a little bit more complicated. That's why we're just using the microwave. This is way easier. If we look at our chocolate now, we can see that it's a little shiny now. It's been melted, it's been incorporated. Same thing, same thing. It's a little bit of a different way to do it, but there's a lot of hot debate about, okay, double broiler or microwave. You can totally just use the microwave, guys. I told you from the beginning, this is not pretentious. You can do this at home, it's really easy. So we have our chocolate melted, see, nice and beautiful. Next, we're gonna add our sugar. This is 2 cups of just normal sugar, and I'm mixing it into my chocolate. You wanna mix this really well, guys, because if you don't, what you're gonna end up with is you're gonna end up with brownies that are grainy, and that's because they aren't gonna cook all the way. It's gonna break, essentially. So you wanna make sure that when you're mixing these, that you're really mixing it really well. And you want these grains of sugar to dissolve or to mix in with the chocolate. And that's what we're doing here when we're mixing this. Next, we're gonna take our eggs. These are 4 eggs that have been pre-cracked for me by our magnificent prep cook, Victoria. Shout out to Victoria, she's amazing. I love her, she's great. I don't know what I would do without her if she wasn't here. Thank you, Victoria. We're gonna add 1 egg at a time. Now, why are we adding 1 egg at a time? Why can't we just add all 4 eggs at once? For those of you that can't wait or that aren't very patient, this is gonna be a little bit hard, but stay with me, I'm gonna explain why. We're gonna mix this very well, and we're just gonna add 1 egg at a time because we're doing what's called a process of emulsification. Emulsification sounds like a long and confusing word, but it's really all it means is you're mixing the fat in with the liquid. And if you don't wait to incorporate 1 egg at a time while you're mixing this, you're gonna end up with brownies that break at the end. They're going to be very grainy, they're gonna be really gross. So really take the time, guys, to mix this properly, to give it some love. Make sure you're mixing it all the way around. Make sure that it looks shiny. You're adding 1 egg at a time. And then we're gonna finish it with just a little bit of vanilla. You can use Mexican vanilla. This is Mexican vanilla. We're gonna add just a little bit. It has a slightly different floral flavor profile than normal vanilla does. And then we're gonna add a little bit of a mix. This is cayenne pepper and cinnamon. As we're adding and we're emulsifying this properly, I'm just adding my cinnamon and my cayenne pepper. And guys, look, as we can see, the chocolate brownies mix is becoming more and more ribbon-like. So we're gonna just keep mixing that. Hopefully we can cut out a lot of this because this is taking forever, but I want this to come out right. So basically we're just gonna keep mixing this until the point where it's gonna get to where I want it to be, but that's gonna take some time. So hopefully we can just edit all of this out because it's not where I want it to be yet, and that's okay. So I'm gonna keep mixing this, and when we come right back, we're gonna put the brownies in the oven and we're gonna see how everything turned out. We'll see you when we get back on Jake's Awesome Cooking Show. So next I'm gonna add my flour. Now guys, it's really important that you add your flour because if you don't add your flour, you're gonna be mixing forever and it's never going to get thick. So watch, as I add the flour, 2 things are gonna happen. The mix is gonna get a little bit thicker and it's gonna have more of a shiny sheen to it. This is really important. So as you're mixing, also be careful not to overmix once you've added your flour. Because when you overmix, what happens is you end up with really, really dense brownies that you could kill someone with if you threw it at them. So don't do that. So you're just gonna add your flour, you're gonna do a gentle mix, couple turns, you're gonna see it gets a little bit shiny just like that. And it's like a ribbon consistency, which is really what we're looking for here. And we're gonna pour this into our brownie mix. We're gonna pour this into our, oh my gosh. We're gonna pour this into the baking pan and then we're just gonna throw it in the oven. So when we get back, I'm gonna show you how these turned out. So we're gonna put this in the oven right now and we'll see you when we get back. All right guys, so we're back on Jake's Awesome Cooking Show and I think the enchiladas are just about ready. So I'm gonna take them out of the oven right now. We're gonna open our oven. Oh yeah, these look amazing. Let's check it out. We got the cheese that's been melted. We got the sauce, all good. They're not dry because we fried them beforehand. I'm just gonna plate it really quickly. I'm gonna take a plate. I'm gonna take a plate here. We're just gonna plate it. So, taking them out, we're gonna cut it just like so. We're gonna cut each edge, making sure that we don't break these guys. And then I'm going to pull it out. Sometimes it can be a little tricky, so if you wanna start with the middle one or with the side one, you can totally do that too. I personally like to start with the edge. I think the edge is the easiest one to take out. So we're just gonna pull it out just like that. We're gonna plate it. Ooh, it's still kind of hot. Careful with your hands. And this is our finished product right here, guys. We just topped it off with just a little bit more cilantro. We got our amazing enchilada here with our sauce and our chicken. It's gonna be amazing. And when we come back, the brownies will be finished, so we'll cut those up and plate those for you. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, welcome back to Jake's Awesome Cooking Show. We're gonna take the brownies out of the oven because they're done. Let's check them. Nice. Look at that beautiful brownie, guys. Got that sheen on there. They're gonna be nice and fudgy. Let's cut them up. Earlier, I talked about the parchment paper, parchment baking paper. Don't use wax paper. If you use wax paper, it's gonna melt. But with this parchment paper, we can pull the brownie out easily, just like that. See how easy that was? Now, because we use flour, it's not sticking to that parchment paper. So now we can fold it flat, just like that, I'm gonna be using this fancy spatula to cut it. And we're just gonna start right there, and that's what we're looking for. We want that fudgy, delicious chocolate brownie. It's gonna go great with a little bit of milk. I like it more on the cakey fudgy side, and that's exactly what this is. So, and I also like the edge. So we're gonna enjoy the edge of this, and I'm just gonna get right there, like that. Take a plate. I'm gonna take my plate right here, and we're just going to plate this delicious brownie. It helps if you have a backup spatula because sometimes it gets sticky. We're gonna put our fudgy brownie right there. And then why not? Let's have 2 of them. We're already having enchiladas. Why not eat 2 brownies? We'll take another one, just like this. I'm gonna get my backup spatula right here. We're just gonna cut in, and we're gonna plate that, just like that. And there you guys have it, chocolate brownies. When we come back, I'm gonna show you all the dishes all in one. We'll see you when you get back. All right, everyone. Well, these are our 3 dishes. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Jake's Awesome Cooking Show. We did the papaya salad together. Crunchy, delicious, sour, full of flavor and herbs right here. Very easy. Then we moved on with our green enchiladas with very cheesy. We roasted it slow. We cooked the chicken. We used corn tortillas, not flour. And then we finished with our extra fudgy, delicious brownies. I'm gonna enjoy this with a glass of milk once they finish rolling. I don't know about you guys. We hope to see you guys on the next episode of Jake's Awesome Cooking Show. And just a special shout out to all the people who helped make this possible. Thank you all. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed everything on Jake's Awesome Cooking Show today. You can reach me at jakesawesomefood.com, or if you're looking for a private chef, you can also reach me through Instagram at Jake's Awesome Food. We'll hope to see you next time on Jake's Awesome Cooking Show. Bye.